Sit down for a minute. We've been getting played from the beginning, bro. Like from the very beginning. Let me explain. Y'all ever heard something called Egyptomania? Egyptomania was when European explorers such as Napoleon or Columbus, they went into our pyramids and they started fucking our shit up. And when I say we, I mean black people. Cause let's be straight. The Egyptians, they were black. They weren't Caucasian. Historians been trying to play that shit off like, well, we're not fully sure. I mean, they could have been Middle Eastern or something, or some shit like that. No, nigga. White people could not have survived in the desert for that long. That's some Ed nigga shit. Like, they obviously try to hide shit on that. They could not have some. They would have. White people are melanated. They are the leading offenders for sun cancer. Like, they don't want consistently falling victim to that. Especially in places like Israel, where they're trying to claim they came from that place, the Jewish people. No, they didn't. They keep dying from sun cancer there. They're clearly not suited for living there. Y'all shit was in Rome. That was y'all shit with all the fucking homosexual pedophiles. That's what they believed, and he started some lesbo island, some shit like that. But look, Egyptomania, they destroyed our history. Napoleon alone destroyed 500,000 scrolls, proof that we were even there. They tried to scratch the skin off our paintings, taking away our skin and saying, no, they tried to hide the fact that they were black. And then, in some cases, I hope this part not true, but in some cases I've heard that they eaten the mummies. Let me give you my theory why I think this was. And part of this theory was off of young Pharaoh. He's the one who inspired this shit for me. But look, they are ejecting themselves in our history. Look, they saw that we had shit figured out. We had pyramids all over this world already. Like we were mathematicians. We put so much of this shit together, and we were healthy too. Like, we already had it figured out that we had to be vegan. We were on our spiritual shit, and we understood the universe as it was. Egyptians were enlightened people, and the Europeans saw that as a threat. I get some water. European people saw that as a threat. So they tried to hide the fact. They tried to hide our history. To this day, I'm pretty sure they still hide in our history, and they still have stuff that they said they got rid of, but they're just hiding from us, so we don't become as alien either. So all these black people out here stay bots. They stay killing each other, and they stay on this ignorant shit. Listen to what celebs say, and then these demons inside our communities. That's why I believe they on. I'm gonna do a video on that later too. Cause these celebs, they on some shit, and y'all niggas falling for it. But look, this is how I think they ejected themselves in our history. After they enslaved us, I'm gonna keep sidetracking like this, but I have to say this: slavery, even in Africa, was not the same as slavery in Europe. In Europe, they raped us, they put us in a hierarchy where we were below, they beat us, they treat us like animals, and we were stuck as slaves for lives. Our children were stuck as slaves for life. Like, that was a forever thing, and we could never get out of it, out of that cycle of mental and physical abuse. It was permanent for them. African slaves, they were part of the tribe. They were part of the family. They weren't objects. They were people. They were their family. And these people, they were able to work hard enough to one day become a chief or just get out being a slave. It was not a forever thing. They were part of their family. Anyway, once Europeans brought these slaves, the Native Americans, and all that, they then went on to force Christianity on us, and every portrayal of Christianity, Jesus and his followers were white. Nowadays, they want to say, "Oh, well, that's not really what Jesus looked like. It's just how we portray him." But tell me, even though that's why you portray him as that, him and all his followers is white. All these in these little black kids, it's a mental thing. It's all a mental war. Like they're not gonna say it. They're not gonna be speaking out on it. But in the back of their head, like, wait, so God and his son and the creation, everything. If why when y'all say he was made in our image, in these cases he's white. What am I then? Am I at the bottom? Because in all these religions, black people are at the bottom. They're treated as less than human in every single religion. So that's the first thing that was up that they've been trying to put us down on. But look, they forced Christianity on us, and back then, they were proudly saying Jesus was white. Like that was they wanted to make that shit known. They try to play it off now to make it more socially acceptable. But back then, and they know what they're doing now, and they knew what they were doing back then. They who were making Jesus white to eject themselves in our history, because then they claim that the Bible, the shit that happened in the Bible, happened before Egyptians, before the pyramids and all that. That was way before then, and they try to play it off, saying that we saying that they were here first on some bullshit. It's all been a mental war, bro. And the only reason and then after doing all this, after forcing Christianity on us, destroying our history, they then, even though there was clear proof that we were here first, we're the ones suffering the most. We're the ones hurting. We're the ones stuck in the ghetto. We're the ones that are being attacked and brutalized. Even though we were here first, and all the evidence points towards this being our land, they still were the ones suffering the most. Native Americans, they got their retributions. They're like they get loss of land, they get money and shit. They said, what the fuck our retribution? We were enslaved, we were beat, we were indeed we were our humanity, we were stripped of our humanity. Our ancestors, all this shit, we have been, to this day, we are still being taken from and abused from, but we got no type of retributions. In fact, a lot of the wealth that's supposed to be going to us, politicians and the government, they picking out that, putting it in their pockets, keeping themselves on top. What the fuck is that about, bro? I don't, bro. This war, we've been getting played from the beginning. But let me go back to my thesis so I can wrap this up. But basically, they destroyed our history and everything we thought about our ancestors, because they saw that our ancestors were enlightened beings. They wanted to prevent us from becoming enlightened, because they figured if we did become enlightened, we'd be a threat to them.